Hi, it's Chantel here from Fiberific. In this week's video, we are going to learn how to use the Nostepinne or Nostepinne or Nostepinne. Lots of people say it lots of different ways, but what it is a stick. It's a stick slightly tapered for the chow group, makes it easier for your ball to come off. And generally smooth. You want them smooth so they don't catch your yarn. So not just any old stick. What it's used for is to make balls or cakes of yarn from your skeins or hanks. You go to a yarn store or wherever it is that you get your yarn from, and sometimes it's not always in the neat little balls ready to knit. Sometimes it's in these hanks. Now, as a dyer, I prefer to leave my yarn in this particular format because it's better for the yarn. It doesn't stretch it. So when you ball wind it, it creates tension onto your yarn, which can actually change how the yarn behaves. It can stretch it out. It can lose its elasticity. So I tend to leave all of my yarn, whether it's hand spun, hand dyed, in these hanks until I'm ready to use it. So when you get these, you just open them out, and they're in this big circular sort of loop. It makes it easy to pop straight onto a swift or a chair or a good friend's hands, but you do need to create a little bit of tension. Then what you need to do is get hold of your Nostepinne, and then we start wrapping. So when you get your chow gris Nostepinne, it's going to have this tag on it. Now, it's a really pretty tag, but it's just a tag. So if you want to keep it, undo the knot on the leather, or just chop it off. I just chopped it off. I didn't even keep it. I'm not a tag keeper though. But here is mine, all tag free. And I keep just a little rubber band here. Can you see there's just it's like that's the, whoops. That's the packaged one. No rubber band. This is mine. With fluff. And I've just got a little rubber band. I've just wrapped it around a couple of times. I just find that it's easier. So obviously for you, your yarn's not already going to be in a ball because that would defeat the purpose. Your yarn will be on a swift or in someone's hands or something like that. So what I do is I just pull through a bit of a tail on there. Then I just wrap around and scrolling up and down. You want it to cross hatch over. And you need to make quite a thick little, think of it like you're making a core. Okay, so you're just rolling it around and feeding it up and down. And we're making, this is the core of our ball. So we're not going to continue in this way. It definitely has a two-part process using a Nostepinne. So we're trying to sort of see how there's a gap there. I'll fill that gap up. And we're just trying to make sure this core is solid. If you make a weak core, your ball is really going to just fall apart. And I mean, you don't want that. Like, you're going to this much effort to make the ball. You need it to last your project, okay? Now, obviously, if you're doing a really big ball, like if you're doing 100 grams, I'm doing 50 grams here at the moment. If you're doing 100 grams, you might want to make your core a bit longer. But for my little 50 gram ball, this is about 1.5 inches or an inch is fine for the core. So I'm just going to keep going here for just a second longer. Sorry, I'm not just trying to make it so you're not sitting here just listening to crickets or my neighbours or whatever it else is that you can hear. Okay, so we've got our core now. You can see that it's raised up there and it's raised just there. See how it's raised? You need that little ledge. So you need to make sure that your yarn is on like a good feeding position for you. So I mean, this is obviously just how I do it, and there'll be hundreds of ways to do this like everything else. So I put my thumb here and my finger here on the side. So thumb at the bottom, finger at the side, and I just wrap it a couple of times. So 1, 2, and 3. Now you see I'm catching it on this edge here. Then I give it a bit of a turn, but you kind of got to keep holding it to start with. Sorry, my arm that I'm using to wrap is it's trying to keep out of the way of the camera. 1, 2, 2, 3, and then a quarter turn, and then 1, 2, whoops, 2, 3, and a quarter turn. 1, 2, 3, whoops, and 1, 2, 3. Now there's no rules that say you have to do 3, but I've got a thing about the number 3. Anyone who knows me knows that I like to do everything in odd numbers. I bag all the buttons up in 5s or 7s. So I'm sure you could do 4 just as easily as you do 3. Now once you've got a few, if you kept going like this where you keep feeding it on top, you'll end up with like an egg-shaped ball rather than a round ball. I personally prefer a rounder ball because I want it to sort of, like I want it to sit so it doesn't roll away on me, or at least less chance of rolling away. So what you do then is you start making it come across a bit on a longer, so see how we were doing straight up and over? This time we want to come and bring it across a bit more so it's sitting on the shoulder. So it's just sitting over the top of that finger there. So 1, 2, and 3. Now you've just got to watch these again, like at the start, they might sort of start to loosen off. But this will make more of a cake-shaped ball. So it's not coming up over the top or across the bottom quite so much. 1, 2, 3, turn. 1, 2, 3, turn. 1, 2, 3, turn. And you just keep doing this until you run out of yarn. Now I'm going to continue on with this. I will jump ahead and just show you the finished product now. Okay, so we're getting to the end. We just wrap it, keep going until we get to, okay, I've gotten to the end. And we literally just tuck the yarn end in. Just sort of shove it in wherever you can so it's not coming undone. Make sure you pull your tail out of your elastic band and slide your ball off. See, look at that. Beautiful. Oops, that was that last little wrap. I pulled a bit tight, but that can sit like that. This is another one of those awesome tools that you can just chuck into your spinning bag or your knitting bag if you're on your way somewhere where you're not sure if you're going to be buying hanked or skeined yarn. And it's just a wonderful tool to use. I hope you enjoyed this video in learning how to use your Nostepinne. Now you'll be able to go off and make your own skeins or hanks into cakes of yarn that sit nice and flat. There's plenty of videos out there if you want to learn some other ways to do it. This is just how I do it. And as I've said in previous videos, in quite a few previous videos, I'm not the yarn police. The way I do things is by no means the only way to do things. It's just the easiest for me. Do you have any yarn tools that you'd like for me to show how to use on one of these videos? If you do, just let me know. Pop it in the comments down below so that I know that you want to learn about it. Thank you for liking, commenting and subscribing. It's time for you to fill your universe with Fiber fun. Off you go. I'll see you next time.